Thank you. For what it's worth, you actually have this very goddamn handled. I don't think you need the backup. I appreciate that you backing me up makes it easier and more comfortable. Not that I couldn't survive without the help, but if we're prioritizing comfort, then definitely this is better. This is the way to do it. Oh no, now we have to compromise and agree again. The bane of our life. You joke, but it has been. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just not gonna look. That's okay. Where are you? In the present, in our body. I know you meant in the chapter, and like I don't know, because I feel like we've read this, but I'm not sure if we actually read it like to the camera. Let's start from here. Fine. Critic attacks, like most things, are not all or none. They can vary in intensity and duration. Most of the case examples that follow are on the intense end of the spectrum. I chose them because they are most illustrative of how the critic operates. Once you become proficient at identifying intense critic attacks, you typically develop the mindfulness necessary to notice more subtle attacks. This is essential because most survivors spend tremendous amounts of time barely conscious of how incessantly self-critical they are. As with the flashback management steps, memorizing these rebuttals to the critic and using them like mantras is especially helpful in critic shrinking. I was thinking that that's it, innit? We've spent most of our lives unaware of how much these were affecting us, and everywhere they come into play. Some parts of us, as fragments, could not be self-aware. It is new for me to be able to observe things, to witness things happening in our behaviour, in our minds, in a lot of parts of me. And stands to reason, really, doesn't it, that if you gain that ability, it might seem really overwhelming and really intense when you suddenly start to notice just how bad it's been, just how much the self-criticism hurts, just how endless the attacks are, just how constant, how consistent, how often. And then you add that to the fact that we're also fusing with parts of us that did not. Well, I don't know about for you. There's not many parts of me that didn't get this. Most parts of me were subjected to inner critic attacks. I actually might say all parts of me. I don't know if there's any part of my subsystem that maybe like one or two parts that didn't get it consistently. But we were trauma locked instead, so pick your poison. Shit, man. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I think it's been happening below the the level of conscious registry. And now we are both able to see it and be conscious of it, and also newly conscious of it, newly connected to parts of me. This is quite a big difference for some parts of me. Like, I do have a fair few parts of me that had no connection to this. Or maybe not no connection,
but the intensity and the consistency of it is definitely a new thing. Like, maybe some parts of me had specific times that we'd get like the inner critic attacks, but it wasn't like consistent day in day out, minute in minute out, and it was for other parts of me. So that's like kind of new. Oh, shit, man. It's okay.
Space the fuck out.
Very. It's weird trying to say the same thing at the same time. A lot of the time, I notice that we try to say something at the same time and it just comes out.
Sometimes it actually comes out freakishly accurate.
Yeah, that weirds me out. Like how the vocal cords and how the brain is doing that.
Sometimes it comes out just complete gibberish.
Well, that's what you expect, really, isn't it? If you had like two people trying to grab the wheel at the same time.
It's a miracle we don't drive into lampposts. It's okay. No.
We're safe. We don't need any parts of us to leave or to separate. If the heating technician guy shows up and we're experiencing intense grief, that's okay. We're safe. We don't have to hide that. We don't have to disconnect from that.